So if you love the magic of travel, whether it's adventure travel, cultural travel, leisure travel, a fun cruise, or a short getaway, this podcast is for you. So pack your bags. Here's your host, Colby Jones.
Welcome back for the episode about river cruise cabins. We just went through the river cruises, the different cruise companies, and kind of what to expect. And now let's learn about what cabins we should choose when we're booking our river cruise. Now, generally speaking, most of the river cruise companies have their rooms on a scale of 5 up to 1, or E, the letter E. It looks like an E to me. Does that look like an E to you guys? Not really, whatever. E up to A. Now, the lower the number or the lower the letter, kind of the worse cabin, if you will. The least desirable is how they want us to say it. But I'm not going to be proper because I don't care. I don't work for them. I work for you guys. So we say it's just the lowest category. Now, almost on all the river cruise ships, those are the porthole categories. And that's super, super misleading. Okay, so let me tell you about these porthole cabins. First of all, you have 2 portholes at the very top of your room. And I mean at the very, very top. Why? Because the portholes are just above the water line. Your actual cabin where you are, you're below water. You are 100% below water. And unless you're really tall, you need to stand on a chair or something to look out those portholes. Now, I know I'm huge at 5'10". And so it's a very easy thing for me to pull a chair and look out that porthole. But I'm telling you what, it's not that easy, and you don't really want to look out the porthole. But those are the cheapest rooms. Little windows. You're never going to look out those windows because you're going to see the water right there. It's kind of freaky. Now, the room itself is really nice. Okay, you walk in, you've got a nice bathroom, you've got the fog mirrors and the lamps and everything, all the stuff that you need. I do recommend bringing adapters. The adapters, I do recommend bringing some of those. Not every river cruise ship is on standard US plugs. So have some adapters with you. Really good tip there. But the room's great, pretty big, pretty spacious. The beds are very comfortable. And this goes for pretty much every river cruise line. Even the ones that I told you I'm not the biggest fan of, they still do an excellent job of the cabins, the layout, the beds, etc. Now, here's one thing that the river cruise lines do that's kind of sneaky. We'll just use the category E and D, for example, or 5 and 4. Those are both the same room. It's the same below water line with the 2 stupid small portholes at the top of the room. One of them is $500 cheaper. Why? Because placement on the ship. All right, guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, dogs, whatever. There's a dog over here. She's a really cute doggy too. My baby. You're on a river cruise, okay? Like, engine noise is about the only thing that you have to worry about on a river cruise. And these ones, you probably will get some. Now, if you're an ASMR type person, you're gonna love one of those. If you're not, let's move it on up. So moving our way on up from 5 to 4 and 4 to 3, because that's the next category up is a 3. So a category C or category 3, generally speak on most river cruise lines, is a French balcony. Now you may be saying, what in the world is a French balcony? And some of you already know, but if you don't, it's the craziest thing. You walk in your room, you've got your bathroom and closet here. You walk over here to the bedroom area, the desk, the vanity, the mirror, you got your bed. You have your floor to ceiling sliding glass doors that open up, but instead of an actual balcony that you can go sit on, you've got like 2 inches of space, okay? Not much, and then there's a railing. So you can look out, you can see out, you can get the fresh air coming in, etc. There's just not a spot to sit. There's not enough room to sit. So that's a French balcony. And they're really, really nice. And you're gonna like them, and you're gonna have your door open all the time, just getting in the breeze. And remember, on the river cruises, you're right there, right? You're just from the banks, just a little bit. So you're gonna see the towns, the farms, the cows, the markets, the castles, wherever you are, the vineyards if you're doing the Douro. They're all just right there. So it's really, really neat to see. Next, from the French balcony, we move on up to a category 2 or a B. Kind of generally speaking, each river cruise line has their own ranking or scale, but usually it's like a 2 or a B, and that's a regular balcony. And we all know what a regular balcony is, right? Right, just in case, floor-to-ceiling sliding glass doors that open up onto an actual patio, an actual balcony, an actual veranda that you can sit down on and look out and enjoy, right? That's a regular balcony. That's the next category up. Now from there, we move up one more, and I'll just use Alma as an example, because they're the ones that have the most vessels with this, but we move into what's called a twin balcony. A twin balcony is very similar to the French balcony, with a fun little twist. And this is for real. Walk into your room, floor to ceiling sliding glass doors that open up, and there's your French balcony. You cannot sit out there. Once again, it's a look, it's a lean, get some fresh air. However, off to the bedroom area, just over here, there are another set of floor to ceiling sliding glass doors that open on up to your real sit out balcony. So this is called a twin balcony. Now, some cruise lines call it like a CB or a BB. Some of them call it just a B. But that's a twin where you have the French straight ahead off of kind of the living room area, and then the real sit-out balcony off the bedroom area onto on the left. That's a twin balcony, and they're really, really neat as well. Now, all of these river cruise lines will have different categories of regular balconies and twin balconies. So just pretend, let's just call them X, Y, and Z, for example. So category X is a twin balcony, category Y is a twin balcony, category Z is a twin balcony. They're all the exact same room, everything's the exact same thing, except one of them's $1,000 more, and one of them's $500 more. And what's the difference? Literally the location on the ship. Just like the little porthole cabins that are below waterline, they're trying to charge you an extra $500 to $1,000 to be in a better location. Now you're on a river cruise, guys. Unless those are the only cabins available or money just grows on trees for you, don't fall for it. Don't do it. You don't need to. Now, there are certain times where it's like, hey, you know what? We actually do probably want to pay that extra little bit of money just to be away from here. But 99% of the time, we don't want to do that. I mean, we can, but we don't want to. It's just a waste of your money. It's them just trying to upsell you, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. So when we're looking at those, we'll tell you like, hey, guess what? This is this much. This is this much. It's the same room, and you're looking at a difference of 12 feet. I'll save $500 to walk an extra 12 feet. Thank you very much. Okay, it's not like a cruise ship where there's thousands of people and you can hear elephants stamping by the hallways. No, it's a river cruise. They're pretty quiet. And guess what? When you're sleeping, everybody else is sleeping too. Because the average age is older, yes, and because the entertainment is not like a river cruise ship where you have a comedy show coming out here, and you have the Broadway show coming out here, and the casino people coming here. There's not even a casino, okay? So you don't get suckered into paying all this extra money for the exact same room. Now, sometimes that's all that's left. And if it is, okay, right? That's what we gotta take. But if it's not a required thing, if it's not necessary, then we'll probably want to avoid that. Just a fun little fact for you guys. Okay, after that we move on up to the category 1, category A, etc. Those are the big grandiose suites. Sometimes they have them just as a GS, as a grand suite, owner suite, etc. We all know what those consist of. And they are freaking marvelous. They're also super duper expensive. We also very rarely, and I mean like very rarely, see interline discounts on those. So plan on interline rates for everything below the full suite. The twin balconies, you betcha. Regular balconies, of course. French balcony, every time. And the lower E&Ds, we have them, but usually those are already sold out, typically by a single passenger. The next thing on these ships is just the placement. The engine noise is about the only thing you have to worry about. You don't really have to worry about movement, rocking, motion. You're not gonna have that. Yeah, that's like, it just doesn't happen. Those are about the only things we have to be concerned of when choosing our cabin. There's not gonna be too much above or below us that's gonna be noisy unless we're below waterline. The top deck, yes, they could move dining chairs and stuff around. Sometimes on the older vessels, that's an issue. It's not so much on the new ones. The Alma Magna, they have an entire pool and a pickleball court up there. Super cool, big ship. So far, nobody has made a single complaint about that. Plus, nobody's really playing pickleball at 9 o'clock at night. It's just not a thing you do. right? Especially on a river cruise, generally speaking, because you also have an excursion early the next morning. Sometimes you get to sleep in for lunchtime, and you don't have to do the excursions, but everybody wants to because they're really fantastic. One other thing to note is the river cruise ships, more or less, depending on which vessel you go to, will hold about 100 people. That's it. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. Sometimes you're in the 70s, sometimes there's like 150, Magna, etc. But you got about 100 people on board, so they're not crowded, there's not lines, and there's just not a lot of noise factors. So when you're choosing a room, engines are going to be the big thing, and then also wind. A lot of people forget about the wind. So we want to try to choose a room that isn't going to be getting the brunt of the wind, and I can help you out with that. Now, we've kind of learned about the river cruise lines. We've kind of learned about what to expect on a river cruise, and the different types of cabins, and how to choose them. Now let's choose our itinerary and when to book it. Guess what? The next episode I'm teaching, I cover all of that. So let's dive right into it. And for those of you that have sailed before, tell me about your experience. What cabins you chose? Did you have to pay more? Did you do the little portholes and have to stand on the chair to look out? Did you like it? I was in one. I stayed in one. It was okay. I definitely would have preferred a French balcony or something better, but it was all that was left. So I said, okay, why not? But leave it in the comments. Hit me up. Tell me. Maybe we'll make an episode on that too. You know I will sometimes. Other than that, let's fire off into the next episode.
So that's it for today's episode of Travel with Colby. Head on over to wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts will win a chance in a grand prize drawing to win a free cruise. So be sure to head on over to travelwithcolby.com and pick up a free travel gift from Colby and join us next time.